All right, hi. So me and my husband, Donald, we were talking about. We just got through watching this movie, American Son, on Netflix. Granted, the whole scene was in a police station, the whole movie, but they had a few good points. You got it. You got the message. About basically racism is not dead. It's still alive and thriving. Not like it's a good thing the way I said it, but we were just having a conversation about that and racism in America. And what are your viewpoints?
Well, I mean, the movie is interesting. I don't want to like spoil it for anybody who wants to like watch it, but just the dialogue in the movie makes you think about just being more informative, especially to our people, like about how to deal with cops, and like just for a moment, just comply, you know. I'm not sitting here like, oh, pro cops or anything like that, like not at all.
Black or white.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is like, do you want to drive away or do you want to have somebody come pick your body up? Like, do you want to carry your pride?
Oh, sorry.
Or you want to carry your life? Because, that's what it really comes down to, is we can get so prideful because it's, our rights. And yes, we do have our rights. Yeah. And yes, cops do try to take advantage of people with their rights just because they think they are the law. Like, we get all that, but let them deal with their own pride. Right. Like, you keep your pride in check so you can keep your life, because at the end of the day, they have the gun and the vest. Right. You may have a gun too, but they got a vest. Yeah. So,
and sorry. And I think if something were to happen, it'd be your word against theirs. So whose word do you think they would take? Sure wouldn't be ours. And I don't know, like on the movie, like we said, I don't want to spoil it. But you're supposed to, watch the movie. Okay, you're supposed to shoot, from what I heard, you're supposed to shoot to like dismember or to like slow him down. You're not supposed to shoot to kill, and if you don't have the best aim, you shouldn't be shooting in the first place. And it's just like, okay, don't they have like training for that? I'm shooting to dismember. Dismember sounds so bad. I'm shooting to slow him down, or what is the correct term? But you get what I'm saying.
Like restrain them.
Yeah, like stop them. Isn't that easy? God, I was thinking of like difficult word, but I'm.
You need education word.
Let me pull out the dictionary. But no, like I'm not shooting to kill him. But I think even like I said when I was saying black or white, there's these statistics and in everyone's mind of what black people should be or how they should act. Ain't got no home training, ghetto, whatever you want to call it. Don't know their A to Z's. Just ignorant. Basically, bottom line is what people think black people are. You hear me talking, if you didn't see my face, you would think I was white. I can switch it up real quick, but I wasn't raised like around, I wasn't raised around that. I was raised primarily around white people, and, my parents made sure I got an education, and some people will call that being white or whatever. Well, whatever. Like, I don't see myself as white, obviously, and people have reminded me that I'm not white, not that I need reminding, but, in the hospital or just in everyday life, people get closer to their spouse or kind of go the other aisle when you're in freaking Walmart, because your skin color. If you think racism is dead, you were blind. Right? No, we're not like like the guy was saying Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry. You'll get it if you see the movie. They have little sarcastic jokes in there. I thought it was funny. But we're not Black Lives Matter. But Black Lives Matter, and we're not on here to, hashtag Black Lives Matter. But just to say, the movie is pretty interesting, and like you said, the dialogue, and still showing that racism exists. We're not saying that we've experienced slavery. We're not saying that we know how those times are, or how they've been, because we weren't even born in those times. But like, doesn't mean that we're not being reminded of it, almost every single day. Do we harp on it? No. But this movie, just brought back to our attention a really good conversation. You think so?
Yeah, and to
I was waiting on you guys.
No, just thinking as you're talking. Well, the first thing you said when you said, it's our word against theirs. Who's they gonna take? But just make sure you have a word. Because if you're gone, like we've seen, recently and more so in the past as well, like these people, these cops that say this is what happened are only giving you their side of the story, and then the ones that investigate are just like, no matter what they write or what they say they saw or whatever, they're only giving their opinion because they weren't there.
Yeah. But
if you're not here to tell your side of the story, then of course it's their word against yours because you don't have one. So, and even if you're here and it's still their word against yours, at least you got your word out. Like, this whole justice system, of course, we know is a whole different story. But, at least you have a word to say, whether it gets shut down or not. It's better than having nothing to say and it just gets overridden because you can't speak for yourself because you're not here no more.
Right.
So, with that, and then just thinking about, I was just sitting here thinking about like this mentality of, if we comply, we think, well, that they think they own us or have power over us. And it almost wants to take people back to slavery days. And like sitting here thinking about it, like, well, even then, even when like, take for example, I was thinking about Harriet Tubman. Like, if Harriet Tubman hadn't complied, like, if she was acting out and been wild, do you really think she would have been able to get away and create the railroad for people to escape to? Like, at some point, Harriet Tubman had to. Yes,
their self-discipline.
Yeah, like there's that point where she may not feel that way, but she's like, you know what? I'm gonna do this because I have a plan. Like, there's something else I'm working on, and that's another thing. Like, we need to, as Black people, especially. We need to keep our vision before us. So we're not sitting here thinking, oh, they think they can just run over me and tell me what and just, ruin my rights. Like, nah, forget all that. You know what? I'm on my way to something bigger and better. So, yes, sir. No, sir. Yeah, I'll get the brake light fixed, or I'll stop speeding. Whatever the case may be that they find ways to pull you over for. Either way, just for that moment, like, look.
Say yes and drive away.
Yeah, let me get this out the way. If they give me a ticket. I'll talk about them, on the way home or whatever.
Out of earshot.
Yeah, like, do what you want to do after that, but at least be alive to make that decision.
Yeah.
And so it's just thinking, Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. Like, let's just take black, blue, and whatever else you want to put in there before Lives Matter. all life matters because God created it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how we need to take that perspective. Like, all life matters. Wait, you're a child of God. No matter what color you are, no matter what badge you have, you're a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to respect you, at least from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Even if you want to be as disrespectful as you can be to me, that's fine. That's cool. It does not negate the fact that God created you.
Mm-hmm.
And you still belong to him, whether you think you do or not.
Treat you how I would want to be treated.
And so I have to learn how to say, okay, Lord, like, this is your child. And you'll deal with it accordingly. So I don't need to put things into my own hand because I'm mad or I'm angry or I'm upset or they did me wrong or whatever, or they took advantage of me. Like, no, the Bible says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, you don't need to pray that, oh, get them, Jesus. No, you need to pray, Lord, protect them. Like, save them, because they don't know that they're allowing the enemy to influence them and take them to a place that you want to keep them from.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of me getting back at them or even taking that scripture out of context and saying, oh, Lord, you said vengeance is mine, go ahead and get them. Like, no. What if his vengeance is saving their life?
Mm-hmm.
Will you be mad? Will you be upset? Or will you still be thinking about that moment? Like, get off of that. Get to a bigger picture of, like, wait, I'm going somewhere bigger than this. And I'm going somewhere better than this. Therefore, like, I don't need to worry about this. Yes, sir. No, sir. I had a conversation with a cousin a couple years ago about this very same thing. And I told my wife, we're going to talk about this with our children. Like, hey, like, don't let your friends influence you. Don't let these people around you influence you. Just, hey, yes, sir. No, sir. Okay, I will, stop speeding. I will, whatever the case may be, or whatever they even may make up. Like, just don't waste your time trying to defend yourself so much. That's what we learn in church with this book that we were reading. And I'm not trying to promote. I'm not promoting.
Bait of Satan.
But
Bait of Satan.
But the bait of Satan.
John
Like, don't spend your time trying to defend yourself, especially if you're a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let the Lord take care of that.
Right. You already know what the deal is.
Yeah, like, of course, are we going to get offended? Yeah, that stuff is going to offend us. It's going to offend me. But it's how I respond that's most important. Does my offense control me, or do I control my offense? Like, when I'm offended, do I let it take me where I should not go? Or do I reel it back? Like, wait a minute. Do I really want to go down this road? Because I don't want to know. I don't know how it ends. And so I know where this road ends. The one where I can control my offense. And I can just be mad on the way home or whatever the case may be. Because I'm pretty sure we've all gotten tickets and we're upset about it.
Oh, go ahead.
And mad to the point where we're just like, seriously, I cannot believe this. And, but at least you were still here to be mad.
Right.
And be upset about it. And whatever, grumble, complain, or think that they were lying, or they just wanted to pull me over to meet their quota. Whatever the case may be, whatever your opinion was about it, at least you were here to have one.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So let go of your pride and keep your life.
Right. No, but seriously, that reminds me, because Donnell got pulled over one time. Race cop. It was so obvious. It was ridiculous. But, like, he got pulled over. I forgot where it was. But so much, like, the cop did so much as to, like, get him out of his car, ask Donnell to get out of his car, and then to come sit in the police car.
Oh, yeah.
Shooketh to the core. Can you say? I was like, what the? I didn't say anything.
We're going 3 miles over.
Were you 5?
No, 3.
Okay, he was 3.
3 miles over. In that little town.
Yeah, what, was it Junction?
Yeah, I won't remember the name, but you let it go. So.
Oh, well, it was Junction. And, we already know the deal. So, like, yeah, so much as to sit in the police car. And I guess he looked up Donnell's information. Squeaky clean, his background. He got no record, which he was looking for. Like, why would you ask a black man, I'm going to say it, to get out of his car and to come sit in your car. What did he think that he was gonna, raise a fit and say, nah, Blake, I ain't doing that. I ain't, So he can handcuff him and send him off? Like, he was raised right. Okay. Like, he knows what respect means. Definition of walking respect. Okay. So I was like, oh, was I talking under my breath? Of course I was. Was it an earshot? Of course it wasn't. Okay? I'm not dumb. Like, was I making sudden moves? Of course I was not. Like, that was around the time, we were in, well, before that, but, when there was, like, police shootings like crazy. You think I was going to make any sudden moves? No. Bang, 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 bang. Like, we wouldn't be here, like he said, to speak about it. So yes, it was in Junction, Texas, very small town. And, he was racist. He was a racist cop. There's no reason on this God green earth why you have to ask him to get out of his car to sit in your car. For what? Is he arrested? Like, did he do something other than going 3 miles per hour over the speed limit? Like, really? So you just keep a smile on, like I tried to do. Just be optimistic, have a good attitude, and not get offended. Promotion, Bait of Satan, author John Bevere. No, seriously, that book is really good, for real. For real. It just teaches you to not even let it go there, not even let those thoughts or those feelings or those emotions get you to the point of acting out of yourself, of holding in grudges. I'm like, okay, just to think of, okay, let me think from their perspective. This is how they're trained. Giving them excuses? No. This is how they're trained, or, it's the spirit behind why they're acting this way. We have to think spiritually as well as intellectually or logically or, physically. We can't just think, okay, so he racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are we to judge? I just said he was racist, right? But it was, it was racial action. See, I'm still working. We did have our graduation. But it's a constant like exercise. And John Bevere was saying in the book, if you get it, promotion again, a Bait of Satan, that it's an exercise of the heart. So it's a constant exercise of your heart. It's an everyday exercise not to get offended. And I've noticed too, once you put things into practice and make them in habit, a conscious effort to do a positive thing each and every day and not get offended and not even let those thoughts come to your brain, then it becomes a natural thing. We like to make other things a habit, so why not make the good things a habit? And, let them fall into your everyday practice of your everyday living. And so, but yeah, this movie, wow. Granted, yes, like I said, the whole movie was in a police station. Was it a waste of an hour and a half? No, not necessarily. Granted, we know what's going on. We know what's going on in America. And it's not just America. It's everywhere, please. We know that people have their preconceptions of how Black people should act, how Black men versus how Black women should act. We already know. So it's not, and it shouldn't be, for us Black folk, a surprise when we're treated a certain way before people have gotten to know us. education is here. I promise. It is late. But we shouldn't be surprised. Like, if people walk on the other side of the aisle, like I was saying in Walmart, I've noticed. Because I don't always look top notch, get most, not the less. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't always look, woo, it's Walmart. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I go in my sweats, hoodie, t-shirt. I don't care. Like, I'm running errands. Who I gotta look cute for? You know what I'm saying? Or getting my eyebrows done. Oh, that's a perfect example. So, I was trying to get my eyebrows done. Usually it's like in and out. Okay, like the fast food place. And I was just like, no offense, right? Graduation, let it go, Jesus. So, take every thought captive and lay it at the foot. Jesus Christ. All right. So I went in. Like I said, I ain't trying to look cute. Like, it was supposed to be like a quick, I had my head wrap on. I thought, and shout out to all those people who wear head wraps because they're cute, okay? I thought I was looking halfway decent. And apparently I was not, because I was like, okay, how what do you want, or whatever, okay. I was like, oh, I just need my eyebrows done, whatever. It's not like I came in with the full bush, nothing, like, still not done. See, a little extra. I barely have them as it is. I try to keep them correct. So anyway, I was like, I just need my eyebrows done. Oh, okay, sit down, whatever. I was waiting there for a while. And so, because someone was already back there getting their eyebrows done. There was no one, before me waiting. It was a Mexican family, okay, that was waiting. They saw me. Okay, first of all, common sense would be like, don't leave your purse out anyway without someone looking. And there was nowhere else to sit. They have a very small waiting section. And so I sat where I could. Granted, their purse was in the corner, so like I was like 2 seats over, because I didn't want to sit right next to the door. To me, it's kind of weary. I don't know, but anyway. And the kid came out first. It was like just staring at me. I always look up, I smile, I give my little, Donnell calls it the the white man smile. I know we're talking about race. Hey, the times now are too sensitive. Like, the jokes back then used to be, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know. Like, so anyway, that's what I did. I gave him a little, I was like, yeah, like, and he was just like looking at me. And then looking at the little bag or purse or whatever. And so he went back to where, the family was getting their eyebrows done. Apparently it takes 5 people to get your eyebrows done. No one could sit down. And then I think the mom, she came out while the family was still getting their eyebrows done. Oh my goodness, how long does it take? But, hey, we got to get our wax. Get it done. Get it looking right. And so, like, this Mexican family, but I'm not even going to go there. She came out, she was like, she looked at me. I looked up, I smiled. She did not smile. I hear people, like, when someone smiles to you, common courtesy would be, smile back. Home training. Anyway, but I smiled. I was like, hi, and I went back to my phone, blah, 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 blah. And she just looked at me. And so I kind of shook my head, just like, oh, this lady don't know. You know, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do anything. But, and then she went back. And then she came back. And, like, about the third time that she came back, she finally grabbed the bag. I was like, that's what you wanted to do in the first place. You know, and so first there was that, strike one. No, that was strike two, because I was waiting for a minute. So that was strike two. Family was done getting their eyebrows done. Cool. At the end of this, there is a point. Okay, so family done getting their eyebrow. Family, you know, done with their eyebrows. Cool. Done. Gone. Out. Shoot. All right. Lady came out. She looked, who did the eyebrows, came out, looked at me, and then went to do someone's nails. Granted, the guy that I told I need to get my eyebrows done, he didn't tell her, hey, heads up. Like, he could have looked up for a second. He was doing someone's nails. He could have looked up for a second and was just like, hey, eyebrows. Black girl sitting right there with the head wrap. You know, nothing. I was like, okay, cool. And so, and I was already planning to go to, what is it called? Pancake House?
Oh, yeah.
What is it called? Magnolia's Pancake House. Blessed Savior. Huh? We promoting everybody tonight. But no, so she went and did someone else's nails. He was just like, he didn't see this whole family come out just for one person to get their eyebrows done. Okay. And so next, this black family comes in. I'm putting all races in here because it's not just white people who do this. They come in, a mother and daughter. I'm still smiling at these people. I'm still being nice and cordial, Lord. And so I'm like, you know, the mom looks right at me. You know, I do my little, you know, my white man nod. Hey, yeah. Nothing. She just, like, I did that, and while I was doing it, she was just like, just blank. Maybe her mind was on something. I don't know. But that was rude. And then she just sat down. Her daughter acted like she didn't see me. Cool. So, but they had asked the same guy doing the nails for God knows how long, asked him, you know, how long it's gonna be, eyebrows, we need eyebrows, blah, blah. He was like, about 30 minutes or whatever. Cool. And so the mom had sat down after she low-key dissed me. I mean, I don't know if it was the head wrap or what. I was looking straight ethnic, straight. I thought it was cute, but you know, people aren't culturally inclined just yet. And so I had my hoops on. Anyway, so she sat down, then she left because her daughter was just like, get up. I'm just joking. But Ugg boots and like 80-degree weather. Anyway, look at me. Let it go, Chelsea. Let it go, girl. Let it go. But they left. Our daughter was just like, well, we can, you know, go to the hair store that's right around the corner. So they left. So first it was Mexican, then it was our own black, you know, both just disrespectful based off of their preconceptions, based off of how I appear to them. It's how they reflected how, you know, it was shown the reflection of how they treated me, basically. So I was still waiting there. No one said anything to me. Still waiting. And then a lady came in who worked there, looked at me, kept, was like, okay. Kept walking. And so I called my husband and I was just like, look, I was thinking we go to this pancake house, Magnolia Pancake House. And because they're taking a long time and dude straight up, he didn't want to do it. No one want to do it. So he was like, yeah, sure. And he was getting off of work this Saturday. And that's what happened. Just went, to Magnolia Pancake House. Bottom line, everyone has preconceptions of how Black people act, look, speak, whatever, personality-wise. And, there were Asians there, and there was Mexican, there was Black, all just rude. And I was like, okay. So it's not just white people. So I'm not just pinpointing out white people. You're so racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's preconceived notions from all races, even of our own. And, some people are like, well, are gonna probably say, so what makes you think it was just because your race or just because your head wrap? I wasn't born yesterday, and it has happened to me before, so I know what it looks like. So, do you have anything else to say? We are on 31 minutes, ciao.
No, just,
It's a long story, but you get the point.
Just, that incident, I forgot about the incident with that officer when we were on our way.
In his car.
That, that's a perfect example of just, like, complying, because, like, I'm sitting in this dude's car. Good thing I left my cell phone in my car, because, like, he was cool, whatever, but I'm pretty sure any, unfamiliar movement from me would have prompted him to reach for something and then claim that I did something. But, he was fine. He gave me a warning, but it was weird that he brought me to his car.
Yes.
And was, like, asking me where we were going and where we were from. It was just kind of weird. But, I complied. No argument, no nothing. And, of course, he was checking me, trying to make sure, like, he's trying to see if he hit the jackpot. Oh, got one with all these warrants. Like, nah, I'm pretty clean with it. So, yeah, it was just a perfect example of comply. Went about my day. This was before we moved here, but we were visiting here.
Which is San Antonio.
Yeah. And we just enjoyed, ourselves. But imagine if I would have acted ignorant or questioned him, like, why do I got to come to your car? Nah, player, why you want me in your car? Like,
do not resist.
Yeah, that could have went a whole nother way. Or, if anything, he probably would have just went ahead and wrote me a ticket for going 3 miles. Anyways, he probably would have wrote me a ticket, but complied and we went about our day. So, that means stuff like that is going to happen. And, we have to be wise about how we do things as Black people. Especially, we have to use the wisdom God gave us. Like, we are very smart people. Like, we just have to use it for the right things.
Yeah, and I think with Black people, really, it's all this built up, like, anger from, being treated poorly. And then also, it isn't just being treated poorly, but then, like, from how we were raised. It's a cultural thing. Like how your parents got treated. Now they're training you to look at certain white people or certain people wary. Like, oh, I don't trust them. Like, for example, I know this is not true for all, but, it was one thing my family had said, or one of my family had said, that, oh, can't date no Mexican man, they hit women. It's like, you can't put that on all Mexican men, you know? And it's just the same as it goes for, white people when they're white children. Like, if their, parents, like, grew up looking at black people funny and taught on how black people act, then they're gonna, raise their child in the same way because that's what they know. And so now their child is looking at us crazy, but has not even gotten to know us. See, look at there I go with the known. Has not even gotten to know us. And so I truly believe there's different factors when it comes to how we act or how we treat people. And one factor is how we're raised. So I do also believe it's a cultural thing. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm good.
All right.
Just wanted to talk about that and,
It's the movie.
Yeah, and use what we know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand there's a lot of justified anger on the inside of us because of things that have happened to us, but those things have happened, but we're not in those times anymore. Those our ancestors and people before us, they went through all that stuff so that we could have a better future. It's crazy that they went through all that thinking about us, and here we are acting ignorant thinking about them. Like, no, like, they didn't go through all that for us to act like this. They went through that for us, to thrive and be successful and prosper.
And it doesn't mean you forget about it either, but you don't harp on it and let that justify the ignorant things that you do.
Yeah, if anything, you use it as motivation to be successful.
Right.
Like, y'all treated us this way because you thought we were dumb. You thought we couldn't read. You thought we were worthless. Well, let me show you what we actually do know.
Mm-hmm.
Let us show you how actually talented we are, more than just basketball and football and all these other sports that we can play. Let us show you our intellect. Let's show you our mentality, our mindset. Like, you thought they were strong when you put us through this unnecessary punishment. Imagine what we can do when you give us an opportunity. Watch how we promote ourselves. Watch how we prosper. And not say us, but watch how the God in us, for those of us who are aware of our Heavenly Father, watch how He uses us to be successful because He made us to be people, just like He made y'all. So.
Yeah, it reminds me today, if you watch This Is Us, tearjerker, it hit on race too. Like, they took in this black boy named Randall. The white name. Anyway, they took in some black boy, and like his white dad had taught him, like, because boy knew how to play golf better than anybody. But his white dad taught him how to play golf, and he said, which is true for almost anyone, but primarily for black people, black men, play at their level, until you get to their level, and then show them what you can do. So when he got older, his dad had passed. When he got older, he stuck to what his dad told him when he was younger, black man. And these business people had invited him out to play golf. And he acted like, at first, he didn't know how to play. This got me. So he kept in mind what his dad had told him when he was younger, because man knew how to play golf. But at first, I really thought, he's a good actor. I really thought he was like horrible at golf. I was like, man, you should have stayed at home. But he was playing the system. I was like, that was good. Because the guy he was after for like a business or whatever, like, he eventually was like, hey, you can come over and and we'll talk about that grocery store and we'll do this and because the guy thought that he had helped him improve. I was like, not like that. Like, he was doing better than all of them. He's like, oh, I only played once. Lies. But it was so good because I was like, oh, that was good. So it's knowing first your place, your race, your strengths, your weaknesses. And so he started off like, he risked his, I don't say humility, but yeah. He he showed a lot of humility at first by acting like, okay, like, I can't play golf, blah, 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 blah. But then allowed the guy he was after to teach him play golf. He was like, okay, oh, yeah, oh, thanks. That was really nice of you. Thanks. Thank you for those tips. Man knew how to play golf. And use it to his ability. Like, what is that? Using he's not his enemy, but enemy as your footstool. I mean, at first he was, because he was getting on my nerves. But, and at the end of it, the guy was like, you come over to my office and we'll talk about that grocery store. What? I was like, what? And after they had left or whatever, he was just like perfect aim with the golf. I was like, what? So it's about playing the system. But for Black people, you gotta do a little, granted, the guy who's trying to get a business deal with was Black. But like I said before, even Black people, especially when they get to a certain point, forget where they come from, have a perception of how the ignorant Black folk act or should be. So I was like, whoa, smart. That was really smart. I was like, oh, it's 42 minutes. All right, do you have anything else to say?
Good.
Gucci.
Peace, love, and hair grease. No, I'm sorry.
Peace, love, and hair grease from the Hess family. I was joking. But yeah, we just wanted to get on here. It's called American Son on Netflix if you have Netflix, or if you want to see even a preview if you don't have Netflix, on YouTube. I know that is free if you download an app. YouTube app. So even if you see the preview, you've seen enough because it's in one place. It's in the police station. I know I've said that several times, but I was like, did we just watch an hour and a half of them in the police station? We did. Anyway, like my husband said, peace, love. What'd you say? Love, peace, and that hair grease. Anyway, bye. Whoever sits through this, real OG.